From Darkness to Light, a journey to Yahweh. Jayden sat in his car, staring at the city lights flickering in the distance. His hands gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white from the pressure. His heart pounded as a storm of emotions raged inside him. He had tried everything his way. Chasing money, chasing relationships, chasing highs that never lasted. For years, he had convinced himself that if he just worked harder, partied longer, and numbed his pain enough, he'd finally feel whole. But here he was again, sitting in the dark, empty. Tears welled up in his eyes as he reached for his phone. His fingers hovered over his contacts, but he knew the truth. There was no one to call. The same people he partied with, the ones who called him bro, weren't really there for him. And deep down, he knew they were struggling just like he was.
God, if you're real, I need you.
The words left his lips before he even realized he had spoken them. For the first time in years, Jayden let go of pride, let go of his way, and whispered a desperate prayer. Jayden's life had been a cycle, trying to do it his way, thinking he had control only to crash again and again. He had masked his depression with distractions. But the truth was, nothing could fill the void inside him. But that night, something shifted. As he sat in his car, the radio playing softly in the background, a song came on that caught his attention. Tried to do it my way. Now I look to Yahweh. Give it all to Yahweh. Pray and I repent. Forgive me for my sins. Jayden froze. Something about the lyrics struck a nerve, like they were speaking directly to him. He felt a lump in his throat as he listened to the words, his chest tightening. Went through deep depression, now I understand the lesson. Know what I was missing, blood of Jesus flowing in him. Tears slipped down his face. This was his story. For years, he had been trying to fill the void with everything. Except God. He had ignored the signs. The moments where he felt a pull towards something greater. But this time there was no ignoring it. He turned off the engine, closed his eyes, and for the first time in years he prayed. God, I don't want to do this my way anymore. I surrender. I need you. A peace washed over him, a peace he had never felt before. Jayden didn't expect his life to change overnight. But something inside him had shifted. The next morning, he woke up and reached for his Bible, a gift from his grandmother that had collected dust on his shelf for years. He flipped it open and landed on Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Tears welled up in his eyes again.
This is what I've been missing.
As the days passed, Jayden began to change. Instead of drowning in his problems, he prayed. Instead of running to the same toxic cycles, he ran to Yahweh. And slowly, God started healing him. His depression, the weight that had kept him trapped for so long, began to lift. The stress that once controlled him, gone. For the first time in his life, he wasn't second-guessing. He had faith. One night, Jayden ran into an old friend, Marcus, at a gas station. Marcus looked rough, eyes bloodshot, posture slumped. Jayden recognized that look. It was the same emptiness he used to carry.
Bro, where you been?
Marcus asked. You just disappeared. Jayden smiled. Man, I've been with God. Marcus scoffed, shaking his head. Ain't no way, bro.
You serious?
Yeah, I am, Jayden said. I tried everything else, but nothing worked. It wasn't until I put God first that things started changing. Marcus laughed dryly. Man, I don't know about all that. I'm just trying to make it through the week. Jayden looked at his friend, saw the same pain, the same exhaustion he had once felt. Everybody wants the blessing, but don't put in the work, Jayden said, repeating a line from the song that had changed his life. First key to success? Put him first. Marcus shook his head, unconvinced. Man, I don't know. You really believe that? Jayden smiled. Yeah, and I know you gon' feel this one day too. Jayden's life wasn't perfect. He still faced struggles, still had moments of doubt. But the difference? He wasn't carrying it alone anymore. When stress came knocking, Yahweh kept him safe. When he felt lost, Yahweh gave him strength. The more he sought God, the more he saw his hand in everything. He started using his voice to share his testimony, to preach to his brothers and sisters who were still lost, because he knew what it felt like to be empty. But now, he also knew what it felt like to be full, and nothing could compare to that. Let's praise Yahweh. If you enjoyed and were inspired by this story, please like, subscribe, and share for more Yahweh-given stories.